Assalamu alaikum, my dear friends. How are you? My name is Abdul Khalik. Dear friends, sometimes we ask a question from none other than we ourselves. And the question is not that easy to answer. The question is a bit complicated and frightening as well. The question is that why I can't get my life together, why I am not moving forward, and why I'm not developing. Of course, answering this question is a bit, uh, difficult. And because it frightens us, we feel afraid. Why I'm unable to develop and why I'm not making the progress. Why can't I get my life together? The actual reason behind all that is the actual reason behind all that is that there are certain habits. There are seven habits which have become our shackles and which are not allowing us to move, to develop, to overcome the difficulties, and to be a victorious and a winner person. There are seven such habits. We need to identify these and we need to overcome these seven habits which have become the shackle of our wrist and our ankles, and we are unable to move forward. What are those seven habits, by the way? Let's look upon these. We have listened and talked about the seven habits of most effective people. Now, here are the seven habits of least effective people. Here are the seven habits of the unsuccessful people. And once it is important for us to understand and to know that what are the seven habits which makes us develop and prosper, so we also need to know what are the seven habits which are not allowing us to move forward, not allowing us to develop at all. So, my dear friends, let's look upon these seven habits one by one. First of all, it is getting stuck in a defeatist attitude. What is this, by the way? Getting stuck in a defeatist attitude. It is like we are expecting the bad things to happen. We are fearing the bad things to happen. Now, the law of attraction says that whatever you are seen thinking about, whatever you think so often, so the probability of its happening, the probability of its trying becomes much, much, much higher. So, if at all we are fearing the bad things to happen, it does actually mean that the bad thing will happen. It might happen, the probability, the possibility, and the chances have gone much upward. So we have to stop expecting, we have to stop fearing the bad things. So that is the number one thing. And the number two is defining yourself by your past. Defining yourself by your past. Mindfulness is needed. Free yourself from the burden of the past. Mindfulness is needed. Free yourself from the burden of the past. So, as for the past is concerned, maybe there are plenty of bad things which shouldn't have happened, but unfortunately, these has happened. And now, what to do about all that? Should we keep thinking, repenting, and regretting? Should we keep weeping and crying? Why did that thing happen? And should we start to be fearing also that it might happen, something similar might happen in the future as well? I think we need to do totally different thing. What is the different thing which we need to do? First of all, I think that we should learn whatever we can as for our you know uh, past is concerned. I think that we should not be living in the past at all. We need to live in the moment. We need to learn from the past and we need to prepare for the future. But at the same time, we should focus and concentrate upon our today, upon this day, which have been given and gifted to, and if wasted, unfortunately, then it will never come back to us at all. So, all what is needed here is that we need to focus upon whatever good. Mean we need to focus upon our today and not to live in the past at all. So that is the second habit, which has become our shackles, not allowing us to become an independent and free man, not allowing us to develop and to prosper. Now the third such habit is not fully considering what it is that you want. What not fully considering what it is that you want. We are not very clear about what I actually want, where I actually want to be. I am not very clear about that. So this is the trouble. I think that we must define our goals very very clearly, and we should not be leaving it to the chance at all. And we should must be, because unless and until we clearly know where I want to go, what is going to happen, then I think that I'm not going to reach there at all. Because I if at all, and this is the number one thing. Number two thing, that we need to set priorities. Okay, what is the number one most important thing for me? What is the second most important thing? And what is the third most important thing? After that, I think that we need to remove the conflict, and between, if at all, if there is a kind of conflict between what I want actually, so I need to remove the conflict. Otherwise there will be no progress and development at all, because working upon one will automatically mean that we are undoing the work I have done upon the other thing. So I think that if at all there is a kind of conflict between a set of goals I have decided to work for, I think that we need to eradicate that kind of conflict. Rather, these goals should be helping each other instead of damaging each other. So, we must be very, very clear what I want in my life, so that we could effectively start working about that. And now the fourth is staying in your comfort zone. Staying in your comfort zone, my dear friend. I think we should not be staying and living in the comfort zone at all, because as far this comfort zone is concerned, which it does not allow us to move forward to develop at all. As far this comfort zone is concerned, it does not allow us to go for the challenging, for the risky, from the frightening, from the dreadful things, from the things which are unpleasant and difficult. I think we must leave the comfort zone. That is extremely important. And if at all, this is the number one thing, in the comfort zone, that we are not taking the challenging task. And the second thing is, whatever we are doing in a routine, I think if at all there are certain things which can be changed, the way we are working, the way we are doing, we can change the way of doing that. There are not all, but there are many things out of our routine. I think that we must be changing the way we are trying to achieve. In this manner, on the one hand, we will be out of the comfort zone. On the other hand, we will be discovering the new and the very, very useful ways of doing the same thing, which will be cost effective, time effective, energy less consumption, etc., etc. So staying in the comfort zone. So the fifth habit which is not allowing us to move forward, that is falling into procrastination and always putting things off. Falling into procrastination, keep deferring and postponing the thing. Okay, I shall do it tomorrow, I shall do it on the day after tomorrow, the next week or the next month. So I think that is something absolutely bad, because unless and until we do that, I think we will not be able to move forward. Although there are certain things which have a particular timing, and we must be waiting and preparing for that. But most of these things which we need to do, these are the things, the earlier we do the better it is. I think in this like cases, we must be doing those things, but with quite with a reasonable amount of preparation, as soon as it is possible. The sixth and the next is that making excuses and not taking responsibility. Those who are seen making excuses, they never ever reach their destination. but there are people who don't care about the excuses, about the hurdles, about the lack of cooperation by the other people. Instead, these people take the responsibility, and they think that whatever is needed, if at all the cooperation of other people is needed, so I need to motivate and persuade them for their cooperation, etc. Don't make any excuses. If there are external reasons out of your control, try to bring it under your control. But still, if at all these are out of your control, try to do the things without their participation. And this way, the seventh, excuse me, the seventh such habit is not recognizing your progress. Not recognizing your progress, challenges we have faced, and the obstacles we have overcome. I think that we should recognize the progress we have made, and we should also recognize challenges we have faced and the obstacles we have overcome. I think we need to give credit to we ourselves. We need to reward for ourselves for that. And don't beat yourself up. Okay, don't beat yourself up. And self compassion and self care, these are the important thing. So I think these are the seven habits why we are unable to move into develop. Excuse me. There are habits which are the habits of most effective people. These are the habits of least effective people and the failed people. We need to remove these habits. Thank you.